A young Japanese woman, bound and blindfolded, is shoved into a stark room. Her breath hitches. Stories of American torturers ripping nails, drowning souls in bathtubs flood her mind. The blindfold rips away. No bloodied pliers. Just a smiling GI sergeant, twirling a lipstick tube like a grenade. "Welcome to the salon, miss. Let's make you prettier than the emperor's geishas." Her scream dies in her throat as powder leaks. Torture or tenderness? The room smells of damp wood and something sweet, like flowers. Hana, barely 20, stands frozen. Her heart pounds so loud she's sure it. She's a nurse, captured after her hover run. For weeks, she's heard whispers from other prisoners. Tales of American cruelty, of men who laugh while breaking bones. Her hands, tied behind her, shake as she waits for pain. But the sergeant, a lanky man with freckles and a crooked grin, doesn't reach for a weapon. He sets the lipstick on a wobbly table, next to a cracked mirror and a tin of face powder. "Name's Tommy," he says, like they're meeting at a market. "Don't worry, nobody's hurting you today." His voice is soft, but Hana doesn't trust it. She's seen too much. Bombs tearing through homes, friends lost in screams. Kindness feels like a trick. Tommy unties her wrists, and she flinches, expecting a slap. Instead, he gestures to a chair. "Sit. You look like you could use a break." The room has other women too, 5 of them, all Japanese. They're nurses, teachers, mothers, their faces pale with fear. A few have bruises, marks from the chaos of capture. They glance at each other, silent, game. Another soldier, a woman with curly brown hair and a name tag reading Maggie, is forward. She's holding a comb, her smile nervous but warm. "We're not monsters. We just thought maybe you'd like to feel human again." Hana doesn't understand. Human? She feels like a ghost, her life stolen by war. But Maggie's eyes are kind, and Hana notices her hands tremble, too, like she's scared of getting this wrong. The Americans set up what they call a salon. It's just a corner of the camp's mess hall, with crates of makeup, lipsticks, powders, even a bottle of perfume that smells like. Hana's never seen such things, not even before the war. Her village was poor, her life simple. Makeup was for city girls or geishas, not nurses who bandaged wounds under gunfire. Tommy explains. "Some soldiers' wives back home sent care packages. They figured you ladies might need a pick-me-up," he said. "Ugly doesn't mean you have to be." Hana wants to laugh, but it catches in her throat. Beauty? In a prison camp? It sounds absurd, yet she can't look away from the mirror Mag holds up. Her reflection is a stranger. Dirty hair, sunken cheeks, eyes dull with fear. Maggie starts brushing Hana's hair, gentle as a mother. "You've got pretty hair," she's long and strong, like my sister's. Hana stiffens. She doesn't want to trust this woman, this enemy. But the brush feels good, soothing, like a memory of her own mother or bed. She closes her eyes, just for a moment, and lets herself breathe. The other women are watching. One, a teacher named Yuki, whispers, "Is this real?" Another, an Emmy, shakes her head. "It's a trap. They'll use us, parade us like trophies." But Maggie keeps working, humming a soft tune, and Tommy passes out combs and brushes like they're handing out food rations. Slowly, Yuki sits, then Emmy. The room fills with quiet sounds, brushes through hair, the clink of a powder tin. Hana's heart slows. Why are they doing this? She's heard of propaganda, of enemies using prisoners to send messages. Maybe they'll take photos, show the world how kinds are. She glances at Tommy, who's now joking with a younger soldier about how to apply blush. He looks ordinary, not like a torturer, just a man, far from home, trying to do something good. Maggie dabs powder on Hana's cheeks. "There," she says, stepping back. "Take a look." Hana stares into the mirror. Her face is softer, her cheeks pink, her eyes brighter. She doesn't look like a prisoner. She looks like a woman. For the first time in months, she feels a flicker of herself. The girl who laughed with friends, who dreamed of a life beyond the war. Tears sting her eyes, but she blinks them away. She won't cry in front of these strangers. Maggie notices, though, and squeezes her shoulder. "It's okay," she whispers. "You're still you." Those words hit hard. Hana's been running from bombs, hiding from death, forgetting who she is. But this mirror, this moment, brings her back. The other women are changing, too. Yuki's smiling as nails, a bright red that makes her giggle. Emmy, still wary, lets Maggie pin her hair up, muttering about how silly it feels. The room isn't a prison anymore. It's something else, something softer. Hana doesn't have a word for it, but it feels like hope. As the salon continues, Hana watches Tommy and Maggie. They're not perfect. Tommy's clumsy with the makeup, and Maggie keeps apologizing when she tugs too hard on a knot. But they're trying. They're treating her and the other people, not enemies, not prisoners, just women caught in a war. By the end of the day, Hana's hair is clean, her face made up. She doesn't feel beautiful, not yet, but she feels seen. And that's enough to make her wonder. Maybe not all Americans are monsters. Maybe, in this tiny corner of a brutal war, there's room for kindness. The mess hall glows under dim lanterns, the air thick with the scent of perfume and nervous laughter. Hana sits, her face still powdered, her heart caught between fear and wonder. Other women, once silent, now murmur to each other, their voices low, live. Tommy and Maggie move them, offering combs, lipsticks, and words that feel like bandages for wounds nobody can see. Hana can't stop touching her hair, smooth now, free of dirt and tangles. She's still not sure what to salon. Part of her wants to be real, that these Americans mean no harm. But another part, the part that's seen villages burn and heard screams in the night, whispers, "Be careful. Nothing is free." Yuki, the teacher, is bolder now. She's holding a mirror, tilting it to catch the light. "I look like my old self," she says, her voice soft but surprised. "Before the war, I used to wear lipstick sometimes." She laughs, and it's a sound Hana hasn't heard in months. She'll laugh, not forced or bitter. Emmy, the older woman, is still skeptical. She sits with her arms crossed, her hair pinned up but her eyes sharp. "They want something," she mutters to Hana. "They don't do this for nothing." Hana nods, but she's not so sure. Tommy's joking about how he's better at shining boots than applying mascara, and Maggie's teaching Yuki how to braid her hair in a new way. They don't act like people with a secret plan. A new soldier enters carrying a crate. He's younger, maybe 18, with nervous eyes. "More stuff from home," he says, setting it down. Inside are bottles of nail polish, hairpins, even a few scarves. The women gasp, and Hana feels a pang. These things are treasures in a world where food and safety are. Why give them to prisoners? Maggie notices Hana's frown. "You're you?" she asks, sitting beside her. Hana hesitates, then nods. Maggie sighs, her face serious. "Back home, my mom runs a beauty shop. She says making someone feel good about themselves, it's like giving them a shield. War takes so much. We thought, maybe we could give a little back." Hana doesn't know what to say. She's never thought of beauty as a shield, but she understands loss. She's lost her home, her family, her freedom. Maybe this small act, this moment of care, is a way to fight the war's cruelty. The other women are opening up, too. One, a young mother named Aiko, talks about her daughter, left behind in Tokyo. "She's 5, Aiko says, her voice breaking as Maggie pales. "She loves flowers. I used to put them in her hair." Maggie listens, nodding, her eyes wet. "When you get back to her," Maggie says, "you'll put flowers in her hair again." Aiko smiles, and Hana sees something shift in her. A spark of hope, fragile but real. Tommy's working on Emmy now, trying to convince her to try some blush. "Come on, ma'am," he says. "You're gonna break hearts when you walk out of here." Emmy rolls her eyes but lets him dab the powder on her cheeks. "You're a fool," she says, but there's a smile tugging at her lips. Hana watches, amazed. Emmy, who was so sure this was a trap, is softening. The room feels different now. The women are talking, sharing stories of their lives of the war. Yuki tells of teaching children to read, Aiko of singing lullabies to her daughter. Even Hana finds herself speaking, telling Maggie about her village, the cherry blossoms that bloomed every spring. Maggie listens like it matters, and Hana realizes it does. These stories, these small pieces of who they are, keep them alive. But not everyone is ready to trust. A new prisoner, a woman named Reiko, refuses to sit. She stands in the corner, her eyes hard. "This is a lie," she snaps when Maggie offers her a comb. "You think we'll forget what you've done?" Maggie doesn't argue, just nods. "You don't have to join us," she says. "But if you change your mind, we're here." Reiko stays silent, but Hana sees her watching, her anger mixed with curiosity. As the day goes on, the salon becomes a refuge. The women help each other now, passing brushes and mirrors, teaching each other how to use the strange American makeup. Hana tries lipstick for the first time, a soft pink that makes her lips feel bold. She looks in the mirror and sees not just a prisoner, but a woman with dreams, with strength. Tommy and Maggie share their own stories, too. Tommy's from a farm in Iowa, where he milked cows before the war. Maggie's from Chicago, where her mother's salon was a gathering place for women to laugh and cry. "This war's taken a lot from us, too," Tommy says, his voice quiet. "But we're still people. So are you." Hana feels a lump in her throat. She's been taught to hate these Americans, to see them as enemies. But here, in this makeshift salon, they're just people, scared, tired, trying to do something good. She thinks of her brother, drafted into the Japanese army, and wonders if he ever found kindness in the chaos of war. She hopes he did. By the end of the day, the women are different, not just in how they look, hair neat, faces bright, but in how they carry themselves. Yuki's laughing, Aiko's humming, even Emi's teasing Tommy about his clumsy hands. Reiko's still in the corner, but it's hard. Hana feels it too, a lightness like a weight's been lifted. As they leave the mess hall, Hana catches Maggie's eye. "Thank you," she says, the words strange on her tongue. Maggie smiles. "You're welcome, Hana. You're stronger than you know." Hana holds those words like a treasure. In a world of fear, this salon, this moment, is a reminder. Even in war, humanity shine. The camp is gray and cold, but the mess hall glows with warmth. The salon is back, a week after the first session. Hana and the others return, some eager, some still unsure. Mirrors line the tables, reflecting faces that are starting to remember the war. The women sit closer now, braver. Hana's getting used to the routine. She sits as Maggie combs her hair, the strokes steady and familiar. The fear's still there, but it's quieter now, like a distant storm. She looks around and sees the other women. Yuki painting Aiko's nails, Emi teaching Tommy how to braid properly. Even Reiko's here, though she's just watching, her arms crossed but her eyes softer. Today, the Americans brought new supplies, hair ribbons, a few pairs of earrings, even a small radio playing soft music. The song is unfamiliar, but it fills the room with life. Hana closes her eyes, letting the music take her back to her village, to nights when her family sang together under the stars. She misses them so much it hurts, but the pain feels different here, softer, like it's being held by kind hands. Maggie notices Hana's quiet. "You okay?" she asks, pausing her comb. Hana hesitates, then speaks. "I was thinking of home, my mother, to sing." Maggie nods, her eyes gentle. "My mom sings too, old church songs mostly. Makes me feel like she's with me, even here." Hana's surprised by the warmth in Maggie's voice, the way it feels like they're not so different. The other women are sharing memories, too. Yuki talks about her students, how they draw pictures of the sea. Aiko shows Maggie how to fold a paper crane, a trick her daughter loved. Emi, who's finally warming up, tells of her husband, a fisherman who'd bring her shells from the shore. The stories weave together, building a bridge between the women, between prisoners and captors. Tommy's trying to learn Japanese phrases, stumbling over the words. "Karina," he says, pointing at Yuki's nails. "Pretty, right?" Yuki laughs, correcting his pronunciation, and soon the whole room's giggling as Tommy tries again. Hana watches, amazed. This isn't just about makeup or hair. It's about connection, about seeing each other as people, not pawns in a war. But not everyone's ready past. Reiko finally speaks, her voice sharp. You think this makes up for everything? For the bombs, the deaths? The room goes quiet. Maggie sets down her brush, her face serious. No, she says. Nothing makes up for that. We're just trying to make today a little better. Reiko glares, but there's a crack in her anger. Wants to believe but can't. Hana understands Reiko's pain. She's lost people, 2 friends, neighbors, maybe her brother. But she's starting to see something else. Holding on to hate is heavy, and she's tired of carrying it. She looks at Maggie, at Tommy, at the women around her. They're all hurting, all trying to find a way through the darkness. Maybe this salon, this small act of care, is a start. Maggie hands Hana a ribbon, bright red. Try this, she says. Hana ties it in her hair, her fingers clumsy but determined. She looks in the mirror and sees her mother's eyes staring back. It's not just about looking pretty. It's about remembering who she is. A daughter, a sister, a nurse. Person, not just a prisoner. The day passes in a blur of laughter and stories. Aiko teaches everyone a Japanese lullaby, her voice soft but strong. Yuki helps Maggie with her makeup, giggling when the blush goes on too thick. Even Emmy joins in, showing Tommy how to pin a scarf like a headband. Reiko doesn't participate, but she's closer now, listening, her walls crumbling. As the session ends, Tommy turns up the radio, and a lively song fills the air. He grabs Maggie's hand and spins her, laughing. Yuki claps, and Aiko joins in, pulling Hana to her feet. They dance, awkward, silly, free. For a moment, the war fades. There's no camp, no chains, just people moving to get alive. Hana catches Reiko's eye. The other woman's face softens, just for a second, before she looks away. Hana knows it's not easy to let go of fear, of hate. But she also knows this salon is changing them, little by little. It's not about erasing the pain. It's about making room for something else, for hope, for trust, for the chance to heal. As they leave, Maggie slips a small mirror into Hana's hand. Keep it, she says, so you can see yourself, even on the hard days. Hana clutches the mirror, her throat tight. It's more than a gift. It's a promise. A reminder that she's still here, still human, still strong. Weeks have passed, and the salon is a regular part of camp life. The mess hall is brighter now, with paper flowers the women made from old papers. The mirrors reflect faces that are starting to smile, eyes that hold a little less fear. Hana and the others are changing, not just outside but inside, finding pieces of themselves they thought the war had stolen. Hana sits as Maggie braids her hair, the routine familiar now. She's still a prisoner, still far from home, but the salon feels like a sanctuary. The other women feel it, too. Yuki's teaching Tommy how to write her name and laughing when he gets it wrong. Aiko's showing Emmy how to use eyeliner. Her hands steady despite the memories that haunt her. Even Reiko's here, sitting closer, though she still won't touch the makeup. Today, there's a new energy in the room. Tommy's brought a camera, an old one his dad sent from home. Thought we could take some pictures, he says, grinning. Show the folks back home you're doing okay. The women freeze. Pictures? Hana's mind flashes to Panda, to lies spread in newspapers. Emmy's eyes narrow. You want to use us? She says, her voice cold. Tommy shakes his head, his face open. No, ma'am. Just thought you might want something to keep. For you, not us. He sets the camera down, letting aside. Maggie steps in, her voice soft. My mom used to take pictures of her clients. Said it made them feel special, like they were worth remembering. She looks at Hana, her eyes pleading. You're worth remembering. Hana's heart twists. She's not sure she trusts this, but she trusts Maggie. She nods, and slowly the others agree. Yuki goes first, posing with a shy smile, her hair pinned with a ribbon. Aiko follows, her nails bright red, her face glowing. Emmy hesitates but lets Maggie take her picture, her expression proud. Hana steps up last, her ribbon catching the light. She looks into the camera and sees not just a prisoner, but a woman who's survived. The camera clicks, and the room feels lighter. The women pass the photos around, laughing at their poses, their new looks. Hana holds hers, staring at the girl picture. She's not the same Hana who was blindfolded and terrified weeks ago. She's stronger, braver, even if she doesn't feel it all the time. Reiko's still watching, her face unreadable. But when Maggie offers her the camera, she doesn't say no. She doesn't pose, just lets Maggie snap a quick shot. "For you," Maggie says, handing her the photo. Reiko takes it, her fingers trembling. Hana sees tears in her eyes, but Reiko turns away before the salons become more than just makeup and mirrors. It's a place where the women can be themselves, where they can share their pain and dreams. Yuki talks about going back to teaching, Aiko about reuniting. Emi admits she's scared she'll never see it again, but saying it out loud makes it less heavy. Hana listens, her own dreams stirring. She wants to go home, to rebuild, to be a nurse again. Not for war, but for healing. Tommy and Maggie share their hopes, too. Tommy wants to go back to his farm, to plant crops instead of fighting. Maggie dreams of open, like her mom's, where women can feel safe and strong. "Maybe you'll visit," she tells Hana, half joking. Hana smiles, imagining a world where possible. But the war's still outside, waiting. News comes that the fighting's getting worse, that Japan's losing ground. The women hear whispers of surrender, of bombs that could end it all. The salon feels like a bubble, fragile but precious. Hana wonders what will happen if the ends. Will she go home? Will she ever see Maggie or Tommy again? One day, Maggie brings a surprise. A small cake, baked with rations and a lot of effort. "For all of you," she says, cutting it into tiny pieces. The women eat slowly, savoring the sweetness. It's not just food. It's a gift, a reminder that life can still hold joy. Even Reiko takes a piece, her face softening as she tastes it. As the session ends, Hana looks around. The women are stronger now, their stories braver. They're not just surviving, they're living even here. She thinks of Maggie's words. "You're worth remembering." She holds her photo, her mirror, her ribbon. They're small things, but they're hers. And they're enough to keep her going. Ending. Whispers of Japan's surrender fill the camp, mixing with the scent of perfume and the sound of laughter. The salon is a haven now, a place where Hana and the others have found not just beauty, but strength. The mirrors reflect women who've faced fear and found hope, who've learned that even in the darkest times, kindness can light the way. Hana sits in the mess hall, her hair tied with the red ribbon. The salon's crowded today, drawn by stories of this strange place where prisoners are treated like people. Yuki's teaching a new girl how to use blush. Aiko's folding paper cranes everyone. Emi's laughing, teasing Tommy about his terrible Japanese accent. Even Reiko's here, letting Maggie paint her nails, her face calm for the first time. The news of surrender everything. The women are quiet at first, unsure means. Freedom? Home? Or more uncertainty? Hana thinks of her village, her family. Are they still there? She's scared to hope, but the salon has taught her how. Maggie notices her worry and sits beside her. "You'll get home," she said, "and you'll carry this with you." Ribbon, her mirror, her heart. Tommy's quieter, too. He's heard he might be sent home soon, his farm. "Gonna miss this," he says, looking around the room. "Never thought I'd find friends in a place like this." Hana's surprised to hear him call her a friend. But it feels right. They've shared something here, something bigger than the war. The women start planning for what's next. Yuki wants to rebuild her school, Aiko to find her daughter. Emi's determined to search for her husband, no matter how long it takes. Reiko, who's finally opened up, talks about her brother, a soldier like Hana's. "Maybe he's alive," she says, her voice soft. Hana nods, holding her own hope close. Maggie and Tommy decide to make the lab special. They bring out every supply they have, lipsticks, powders, ribbons, even a few dresses donated by families. "Go big or go home," is grinning. The women laugh, trying on the dresses, twirling in the mess hall ballroom. Hana wears a blue dress, simple but soft, and feels like a girl again, not a prisoner. They take more photos, capturing every smile, every moment. Maggie writes names on the back of each one, so they'll never forget. Hana's photo shows her smiling, her eyes bright. She tucks it into her pocket, a piece of this place to carry with her. As the day ends, the women gather in a circle. Maggie speaks first, her voice shaking. "You're not just prisoners to us," she says. "You're our sisters, our friends. We'll never forget you." Tommy nods, his eyes wet. "You made this war a little," he says. "The women are crying now, but it's not just sadness. It's gratitude, love, and war." Hana speaks up, her voice steady. "You gave us more than makeup," she says. "You gave us ourselves back." Yuki nods, Aiko squeezes her hand, and even Reiko smiles. They're not the same women who walked into camp, blindfolded and afraid. They're stronger, braver, ready to face whatever comes next. The war ends the next day. The camp is chaos. Soldiers packing, prisoners waiting for news. Hana and the others are told they'll go home soon, back to Japan. It's bittersweet. They want freedom, but they'll miss this strange, beautiful salon. Maggie gives each woman a small gift, a ribbon, a mirror, a lipstick. "So you'll remember," she says. As Hana prepares to leave, she hugs Maggie, then Tommy. "Thank you," she says. The word's not enough, but all she has. She looks at the other women, Yuki, Aiko, Emi, Reiko. They're her family now, bound by these moments of kindness. They promise to find each other, to keep their stories alive. The women board a ship, their photos and mirrors close. Hana stands at the rail, watching the camp fade into the distance. She touches her ribbon, looks into her mirror. The woman staring back is scarred but strong, afraid but hopeful. She's not just a survivor. She's a person, with dreams, with love, with a future.